parents, and welcome to ACG Hilliard's third grade curriculum night. Tonight, we're going to go over what you can expect from your third grade team with your scholars this school year. Our principal are Miss Lily, and our assistant principal is Miss Watkins. Here at ACG Hilliard, we are one team, one goal, with no limits.
Our special area teachers include Coach Sanders and Coach Marshall for physical education. Miss Woods teaches music. Miss Ballard teaches art. Miss Bradshaw and Mrs. Copeland are our media specialists, and Mrs. Jackson teaches STEAM.
I am Miss West Thomas, third grade level chair. I also have here Miss Washington, who teaches math. I have Miss Masco, who teaches social studies science, and Miss Major, who teaches everything. On our team, we also have Miss Smith, who teaches writing, and Miss Taylor, who also teaches reading. We again are your third grade team for the 2020-2021 school year. Here at ACG Hilliard, our expectations are as follows. Attendance, virtual school begins with Coach Clark's morning show at 7:30 a.m. daily. Classes begin at 8 o'clock sharp. Students who attend face-to-face learning must report to school by 7:40 a.m. and the school day ends at 2:10. Any student not present by 7:40 will be considered tardy. Communications will take place through our PBIS platform, Class Dojo, emails, phone calls, and also through our Infinite Campus and student monthly reports. You can also contact your child's teacher via the school phone or email, and the email addresses are listed below. We ask that all students who attend virtual learning, please report to the camera dressed appropriately and refrain from having on pajamas during our learning time. Students who are face-to-face are asked to report to school in the school uniform. Our colors are red, white, gray, black, with a black or a khaki bottom.
Okay, our school behavior expectations, we would like to follow PAWS, which means problem solve, act responsibly, make wise choices, and show respect. We want to ensure that you are making these good choices while you're in the classroom by being a good listener, bringing all the materials that you need for class, making sure you're prepared, doing your best, being honest, listen and follow directions while you're in the hallway. You want to make sure you're following directions for the hallway, going directly to your destination. Do not talk unless you are spoken to by an adult. You want to keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. Move quickly, walk in a line, use your quiet voices. Also on the bus, make sure you're doing what was told by your bus driver and your expectations. Wait safely at the bus stop without horseplaying. Follow the bus rules. Make sure you're sitting in your seat, keeping your hands to yourself. Cafeteria and the restroom. We want to make sure that you are problem solving, acting responsibly, making wise choices, and showing respect while you're at ACG Hilliard Elementary School.
For the virtual learning, we follow the same acronym for PAWS, and we want to make sure that you are paying attention and you're engaged in what you're learning. You act responsible and you do what is expected of you. You make wise choices and follow all of your guidelines, and you always show respect and treat everyone with value. And you want to make sure you're showing these expectations as you enter the digital classroom with your videos turned on and your microphones turned off. You're attentive when you are learning in whole group. You actively participate in your small groups, and you complete any task and take any notes required when you are completing video instruction.
All right, here's a little brief explanation on our PBIS reward system and how it works.
That we would love for our kids to come to school prepared every day. We'd love for them to follow directions and know exactly what to do. However, we know that's not the case. So there's two ways to go. We can either be positive or we can be punitive. We found that punitive does not work. We found that positive, rewarding those behaviors works. And the proof is in the data. We've known that since we have made this shift away from the negative, reinforcing the positive, that our whole school culture and our climate has changed.
PBIS has made it possible for me to strengthen my relationships with my students. When I first came to McGarry, there was not a lot of PBIS in place. It was in the baby stages, and I was miserable each day trying to get my students to pay attention to me, to get my students to engage in what I was teaching. I didn't know how to do anything else other than old school, try to yell, try to punish. Everything was punitive. Once I was able to start implementing PBIS in my classroom, the positive reward system turned things around.
We have made incredible strides with behavior, and a lot of that's come with PBIS and our administration. And we are cool now. It's like we're a hidden treasure. I like to tell people that because people don't know all the good things we have going on here at McGarry.
With PBIS, part of that is we want to recognize those folks that are doing what they're supposed to do. We started with some incentives, some very small items, either having a dance or some small items that they could buy. So it really had an impact as far as those our kids that are making good decisions and doing what they're supposed to do. So part of that was keeping track of, if they were following the expectation, we would have teachers would give them a ticket. So that they would collect the tickets, they would save the tickets. The tickets would then buy small, just we call them, toys or trinkets, or maybe a free pass to get some ice cream in our cafeteria. Horrendous challenges using the ticket system, hard to manage. You can imagine teachers had to have tickets all the time. Students they would lose the tickets. They couldn't keep track of them. Unfortunately, teachers felt it was very cumbersome.
In my classroom, I use the PBIS reward system daily, and I have what we call always scans with the program. And so the students know if they are in their seat and they are working on their work and doing, I'm going to come scan. No opt-out policy for questioning. And so if they give me a good quality answer and there's no I don't knows accepted, they know they're going to get a scan. There are expectations that I set that their behavior, for them to be focused, for them to not talk, for them to be engaged. If you're engaged in what you're doing, they know they're going to get a scan. That always helps because we practice it and we practice it and practice it, and it becomes just a part of their routine.
I use the scans in my classroom constantly. A lot of times I will use the scans for stuff like if I ask them to get to a level 0, which means no talking while the teacher's talking, I'll throw out scans. If they come prepared, I'll throw out scans. If they are participating, engaged, if they're working cooperatively with their group, I do a lot of cooperative groups. If they're doing, that's a lot of times the ways I'll give them scans in class. And they're very receptive to that. They want the scans. They want to do good things with the scans. They put their cards on the side of their desk, their ID tags. They just lay them on the side of their desk, and so then I can come by and give them scans when they're showing me those positive behaviors.
The students have found that when we kind of went to the PBIS reward system and the scan process, they saw it was a lot easier as well. They didn't have to keep track of tickets. It was all electronic. It was almost, some of them were excited to think that it was almost like a bank account for them. It has made the use of PBIS extremely user-friendly and easy. It's easy for teachers to immediately recognize those students. Makes it easy in the classroom when they are trying to teach. They can easily scan those cards. Kids in the hallway that are following the expectation, it's easy to do. It's easy for youngsters to find to check their points. It's the ease of operation has made this critical. even within the store, the ease of operation using the PBIS system in our store has made it extremely. I always keep going back to user friendly because that's the key. If it's too complicated, we're not going to use it.
You balance this team.
What the other thing that has done that we didn't realize when we first started was that we can use the data. We can use our scan data and have those conversations maybe with some teachers, looking at how often they are scanning compared to maybe how many referrals they're sending to the office. And then we can coach them as far as different areas that they may need some help.
I've always been big on relationships here because the kids, in order to teach them, you have to build relationships with them. And that's so very important for our kids here. And that's why I've become successful as a teacher here, is because of that relationship building. So that goes right along with PBIS. And that reward system helps that building that relationship because it gives them that reward that they want. And hopefully we move from that being something on the outside, but then on the inside, they want to make those good decisions, is the hope.
And parents, you may be wondering, how does the PBIS reward system apply when it comes to our URL virtual learning? Students definitely are continuing to receive points throughout the virtual learning platform. They come in, they receive points for participating, coming in properly, following all of our PBIS expectations. And we have a lot of virtual rewards that students can cash in their points for. And we also have some things coming forth soon here at ACG Hilliard when it comes to our PBIS reward system. So now let's dive into our content area. All right, and Ms. Washington will start with math.
Okay, so this year in math, our math block will be focusing on the following, which is rounding, addition and subtraction strategies, relationship between multiplication and division, the patterns in addition and multiplication, geometry, representing and comparing fractions, and measurement. Those are the standards and those are the skills that we will follow for the entire school year. And I can assure you that if your student comes to class ready to learn, that they will be able to master those skills and be well prepared to be a fourth grader. Some websites that you can use at home includes FatDash. They can be accessed through ClassLink under the McGraw-Hill Math Resources. This is a website that will allow you to practice facts such as multiplication facts, addition facts, subtraction, and division facts. That's to increase the fluency and make your fluency better, which means become automatic. Also, Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a great resource and a great website to use for a teacher that can go through the different skills that are being taught in the class. You can actually type in the search bar whatever skills. So for example, if you want to know about addition strategies, you can put in addition and you'll be able to see a video where you're going to get a live example, and then there are practice problems afterwards. So that's a very good resource to use at home, KhanAcademy.com. And lastly, iReady. Our students work on iReady every day. There is a requirement that we ask for all students to make sure that they have at least 45 minutes of iReady working on their learning path. So iReady is a tool where it's called computer adaptive assessment, which basically means the students will be working on their level. So iReady is a great resource to help your student as they work on their level in math. I am looking forward to a great school year and having a lot of great teaching and learning in math.
So for science and social studies, during our science block, we will be learning about some rocks, fossils, soil, habitats, pollution, and conservation. And we will do science for 2 weeks, and then we will switch over to social studies for 2 weeks. And during our social studies block, we'll be studying geography, American Indians, famous explorers, British colonial America, American government, and economics. And I'm looking forward to a great fun year of experiments and studying.
All right, for reading, we use units of study, Lucy Calkins units of study, and our reading block will consist of us having a 8 to 10 minute mini lesson daily. During this mini lesson, students will read and respond to meaningful text while focusing on various reading skills. And some of those reading skills include, but aren't limited to, comparing and contrasting the themes, describing our characters, recounting and retelling our stories, using text features to understand nonfiction text, and a big one is finding and identifying the main idea within the text. During this time, the teacher will engage the students in a read aloud through various stories, and students will have time to stop, think, and even jot down their thoughts during this read aloud time. Shared reading also takes place in our classroom, even through the virtual learning platform. We use a website called Epic, and through this website, we are allowed to assign the student shared text so that student can discuss shared text within the classroom. And shared text just means that 2 or more students may be reading the same book, and they can definitely have those conversations to dive a little deeper within our text. We also have phonics and word study during our reading lessons each day, and this is just exposing students to phonics skills, high frequency words, and this will definitely benefit their overall reading, getting them to read a little bit faster, which will impact their reading comprehension. A resource that students can use for reading is iReady. Again, iReady for reading is just like iReady for math. Students completed a computer adaptive test, so iReady will meet them where they are. So I highly advise that students definitely work on iReady each night. And as Ms. Washington stated, there is a 45-minute requirement for math and reading for iReady each week.
In our writing blocks, we will focus on narrative writing, informational writing, and opinion writing. So we'll do this by following a highly effective research-based framework consisting of an 8 to 10 minute mini lesson, 30 minutes of independent writing, and 5 to 7 minutes of sharing and celebrating our work.
All right, again, we are your 2020-2021 third grade team. We thank you for your patience and support during this time. We look forward to an excellent school year with both you and your scholars, because here at ACG Hilliard, we are one team, one goal, no limits. Have a great evening.